Hi, welcome back to Have a Go Spaghettio, the application of Rational Emotive Behaviour Therapy and teaching practice in the early childhood setting. This video is about brain-friend thinking or success helper thinking. We're revisiting the concept of rational thinking, and the idea is to remind children, teach children that there's different ways of thinking, and brain-friend thinking is rational thinking. Rational meaning it helps us achieve our goals. It helps us deal with difficulty successfully. It helps us manage our emotions. So let's move on. Let's revisit Albert Ellis's ABC theory of emotional disturbance. When we teach children the Have a Go Spaghettio approach to social emotional learning, we're helping them understand that there's a connection between the event, our perception of the event, or our thinking about the event, and how we feel and act as a consequence of experiencing that particular event. It's called the ABC theory of emotional disturbance. We want them to grow up or to learn that they can potentially have a great deal of control over how they feel and behave if they learn about the role that their thinking plays in how they feel and how they behave. So strength of feeling at C, the emotional behavioral consequence of A, is influenced by B, our own belief constructions. And this video is about rational thinking, success helper thinking, brain friend thinking. REBT, Rational Emotive Behaviour Therapy, rational thinking refers to a way of thinking that's logical. It takes into account the evidence, it's flexible, it's non-extreme. Have a Go Spaghettio calls this success helper or brain friend thinking. So Rational Emotive Behaviour Therapy in the classroom looks like teaching to these principles in daily teaching practice, reminding children that thinking, feeling and behaving are all interconnected, that how we feel at sea and act at sea is not so much a direct consequence of whatever's happening in our lives, but our thinking about what's happening plays a key role. So we're introducing the idea to our young learners that they can potentially have a great deal of control over how they feel and behave if they learn to think about their thinking. So that's what REBT, rational thinking, is in terms of this Have a Go Spaghettio success helper approach to social emotional learning. Here we revisit the Have a Go Spaghettio Success Helper chart. There are 6 competencies or ways of thinking that underpin our actions and how we feel about stuff. And we teach to these 6 competencies in the classroom. We teach children that, cooperation is important. Hanging in there when the going gets tough is important. It's important to manage ourselves, set goals and have the things at hand we need to be successful. We need to learn how to manage our emotions, to look at things in a reasonable fashion, and to know when we're catastrophizing or when we're feeling over anxious about something that's happening. We want children to develop unconditional self-acceptance, the I'm worthwhile crocodile way of seeing things, very important. This helps children develop psychological resilience, and it's a protective factor against extreme anxiety and depression, sadness, guilt, shame, anger. And we want children to respect each other. That's the orange success helper there. Everyone's okay, hey, hey. So these competencies are underpinned by Albert Ellis's idea that we can think self-helpfully, in other words, rationally, using our success helper or brain friend thinking, or we can choose to think irrationally, use success stopper thinking. So that's the Have a Go Spaghettio success helper chart. That's the main kind of vehicle for teaching Albert Ellis's ABC theory of emotional disturbance in the early childhood setting. So where does brain friend thinking come from? Where does our thinking come from? Well, it comes from a theory called constructivism, constructivist theory, which we teachers are familiar with and on which we base our learning, teaching and learning schedules. Constructivism is the theory that says learners construct knowledge rather than just passively taking in information. As people experience the world and reflect upon those experiences, they build their own representations and incorporate new information into their pre-existing knowledge, the schemas. They are formulating the map which represents the territory. The map is not the territory, or the word is not the thing it purports to represent, according to Alfred Korzybski of general semantics theory. The idea that the world in which we construct inside our head is not the world itself. It's a virtual map of reality. And the closer our virtual map of reality is to reality, then the better able we are to manage ourselves in this world. So that's where thinking comes from. Children don't just take in knowledge provided by them by others. They make sense of what's happening. They look for meanings, and they determine what that information means, and they formulate their own personal philosophies based on the meanings that they make of their own experience. Here are some examples of brain-friend success helper thinking or rational thinking that helps us manage ourselves successfully. The idea that sometimes I get what I want and sometimes I don't, that's something that holds us in good stead, because no matter how much we would desire or wish to have something, we sometimes don't get what we want. I don't like it, but it's not the worst thing that can happen. We help children to look at things in a way that accommodates the reality that sometimes things don't go our way. We help children decatastrophize in the classroom. In the early childhood, have a Go Spaghettio environment, we have the catastrophe scale where we teach children how to decatastrophize and put the badness of things into some kind of perspective. I'll still want good things. In other words, I'll still strive to get what I want, but I understand I can't have them all the time, and that's okay. That's just the way the world works. And the belief that I can handle this. This is tough, but I can handle it. I prefer it didn't happen, but that's the way it is. This is a story. My Strong Mind is a story written by Niles Van Hove. It's called My Strong Mind, as I've mentioned. This is one of many books out there that is illustrative of success helper thinking, brain friend thinking, rational thinking. When you have an ABC theory sensibility, when you understand the ABC theory of emotional disturbance, it helps you look at things in that way. We're looking for subjects or characters that apply thinking about their thinking in terms of how they respond to difficult situations. This is an example. There's a YouTube link there for you to go to, and you can analyze that in terms of your understanding of the ABC theory of emotional disturbance. For instance, in some books you do find that the author talks about heightened emotions and maybe inappropriate behavioral choices, but sometimes there isn't the link made with the thinking. What is it? What are the thinking rules that drive the behaviors? And of course, you'll become sensitive to this, and you'll be able to teach to these ideas in your practice. So this is one example of a book that considers a mindset, and this is called My Strong Mind, and it's worth having a look at. There are many, many books on the internet that serve this purpose. So we're talking about brain friend thinking, success helper thinking, developing a rational perspective on self, others, and life in general. Of course, we can't not mention the Have a Go Spaghettio song. We sing this every day with the little children, and what it is forecasting success. We're thinking that this day is going to be a day of ups, more ups than downs, good stuff, not so good stuff. But we'll learn how to handle the bad stuff, and we'll still keep going. We'll still strive. So have a go, Spaghettio. You can do your best, Clap your hands, touch the sky. Give it a try, banana pie. Have a go, Spaghettio. You can do your best, So that's the Have a Go, Spaghettio song. And we conclude this video with a quote from Dr. Ellis, the creator of Rational Emotive Behaviour Therapy, which underpins the Go Spaghettio approach to social emotional learning. Dr. Ellis says, if human emotions largely result from thinking, then one may appreciably control one's feelings by controlling one's thoughts. So we want to help children understand that our thinking and our feelings and our behaviors are connected, that some thinking it can be helpful and some thinking can be unhelpful. So that concludes this video. Hope you enjoy it. Give it a thumbs up if you wish, or comment. Haven't had a comment yet. Maybe I might get one here. All the best. Thank you. Bye.